Hi, Chloe. I'm Ariana. Nice to meet you.
Hi, Ariana. Nice to meet you too.
So there's a lot going on with Kristi. Her fiance is back. Kenny is still there and still has feelings, and she is being asked a lot for a third-year medical student to basically be like everything in this town. How's it like to suit like these very stressful scenes, especially in this episode with Ellis, and it's just very bloody and gory?
Yeah, that was chaotic to shoot and amazing at the same time. It was actually really fun to prep for. I work as a nurse as well, so it's been awesome. Yeah, yeah. So it's been really cool to bring so much of that part of who I am into Kristi. And I have a lot of friends that work in Emerge, and I used to work in Emerge for a bit. So that procedure that we did on Ellis, I've been a part of in some capacity in real life. And a good friend of mine does it regularly. So I consulted her on how to go about it to make it as medically accurate as possible, but still keep that tension as well. So it's super fun to be able to consult on that and bring my medical skills into that role, into that scene.
That's the craziest thing I've actually ever heard. Like, how are you a nurse and this actor? Well, I guess I don't know your schedule, but how did one come to the other?
Yeah, I mean, I've been acting as long as I've been nursing. Nursing's really good acting school. Nursing is mostly acting, but I've always done both. And then nursing less now, very part-time, but I pick up a shift here and there. But yeah, so much of like Kristi's inner world comes from my experience as being a healthcare worker, putting all your own feelings aside to be present for your duty and to stay that level of focus and not let your emotions override, came from my own experiences. So yeah.
So cool. So Marielle is well, not back, she's there, and they're back together, but she has the relapse. Do you think Kristi's absence led to that, or do you think it was just a lot of other factors that led to her relapsing?
Kristi's definitely sitting with the guilt of knowing that her absence has a lot to do with Marielle's relapse, for sure. I think she's also carrying some guilt in a way that she thinks that she summoned Marielle here in some capacity, because season 1, we end with her kind of not making any decision, but kind of opening up to a level of vulnerability with Kenny of, I don't really know what to do here. Like, there's no for sure answer, but I'm a little bit lost right now. And then an hour later, the bus arrives basically, and there's Marielle, right? So it's a lot to take in. And I mean, this season is so relentless that we don't really get to see these characters have these types of conversations. So it's a lot.
Yeah. But what do you think is up with Kristi and Kenny? Because once the Marielle came back, he just completely stepped back and I guess didn't find it to be appropriate or was scared.
Well, that's the sweet, endearing thing about Kenny, is that he's giving space, he's like, he's aware of what it's like to first arrive in this town, and he's just letting things breathe. And he's also got about 152,000 other things going on in his life regarding things with Boyd, things with Sarah, that I don't even quite know. Like, Kristi doesn't even know about. They haven't had any types of conversations. There's so many things going on in everybody's worlds, and no one's really talking with each other. So yeah, it's been challenging for Kristi and Kenny to really be there for each other in that friend capacity, because there's just so much going on in their other worlds.
Yes. So Kristi and Kenny at one point had their cute little book club that really only had books that existed there. Which book would you hope that you brought to the town that just happened to be in your car when you got stuck?
Honestly, I'm so glad that Kristi had her med school books with her in her car, because she has read those things back, front, and center. She's memorized them at this point. And I think if she didn't have those there, like, I think it'd be a lot harder for her to figure out what to do a lot of the time. So having those med school books were essential. And what else? Honestly, like, probably a Vanity Fair magazine would be really good for her. Just something to just take her mind, just to look at something pretty.
Yes. So do you feel like, in your head at least, I've always wondered this, is there a doctor-patient confidentiality within the town? Because I feel like everyone tells her all of these secrets.
I think she tries to uphold that in some capacity, but there's also no privacy in this town. So I think everybody seems to know everything, but everybody also seems to know nothing. So yeah, I don't know. I think she's selective with who she tells things for sure. She has her people. She keeps her cards close. She's definitely no Tilly blabbing around to everybody.
Yes. And if you had to live in the town or colony house, where would you live?
Like as Chloe?
As your yes, as Chloe, as yourself.
Oh, colony house. I'm a colony house baby for sure. That's where all the queers are, and that's where all the queers are. That's where all the weed is. That's where they have all the parties.
It's always interesting to hear people's answers, but thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me. I can't wait to talk to you about this again in future projects, and good luck on both of your careers. That's still so crazy to me.
Thanks, Ariana. Talk to you later.
Awesome. You have a good one. Thank you.
Bye.